Welcome to part 1 of this module on outgoing personality styles. In the previous module, we had covered the reserved personality type, encompassing both the driver and analytical styles. In this module, we will explore the outgoing personality type made up of the amiable and expressive personality styles. Again, just like in the previous module, there is no right or wrong answer. Each personality has its own positives and negatives. With that in mind, let us start off by first looking at the amiable personality type. According to the personality style graph, the amiable personality type showcases a yielding and outgoing personality style. They can be described as non-threatening and friendly. Everyone loves an amiable personality, and there is usually no room for conflict from their side as they dislike offending people. An amiable person is known to be dependable and a good listener. As they are people-oriented, this makes them friendly, loyal, gentle, and thoughtful. A person with an amiable personality is usually easygoing, passive, and quiet, making them easily influenceable. However, just because they are averse to conflict and that everyone likes them doesn't mean that amiables don't have their challenges. As amiable appears cautious and slow to trust, they tend to be submissive people who hate pressure, dislike change. Eternal approval is very important for them. More so, their lack of interest in conflict can often hold them down in workplace settings. Let us now look at the same question we've asked ourselves with the reserved personalities. Do you remember some doctors who are very friendly with you, easy to meet, and give you sufficient time to discuss your brand? How do we influence amiable doctors? Amiable personalities often have a long track record of making poor decisions. Taking your time to nurture the relationship and gaining their trust would be the best way to approach it, as they are often suspicious and slow to accept new ideas. When conversing with an amiable, certain power words can be used to make them interested. Pause the video and think about the words from the following matrix that you use and the ones that you need to incorporate. Guaranteed. For example, my brand will give you guaranteed results because of its superior efficacy and quick onset of action. Tried and tested. For example, my brand is tried and tested by all the leading doctors in town. With that, we have come to the end of part 1 of this module. Outgoing Personality Styles Part 2. Hi, welcome to Part 2 of this module on outgoing personality styles. In the previous part, we had covered the amiable style. In this module, let us dive deeper into the expressive personality type. Expressive personality type. People who belong to the expressive personality group are often referred to as social specialists. They are represented on the graph as both outgoing and dominant. Expressives have an unrelenting desire to be included in all conversations and situations and have a major fear of missing out. They are very friendly and social and thus easy to approach. They are enthusiastic, relish new ideas, and try to embrace creativity. This helps them make quick decisions. However, they can also appear as undisciplined, impulsive, and emotional. They are also poor in time management and might be labeled as disorganized, lazy, and impatient. They also have a bit of overgeneralizing, being easily led, and nostalgic. Does it happen with you during some doctor's call which goes way beyond your planned time since the doctor kept on speaking and you did not get a chance to discuss about your brand properly? Now, it's time for the golden question. How do we influence doctors with expressive personality? Expressives tend to take quick and impulsive decisions. They like to be appreciated. They need people around them as well as the acceptance of the people around them. In most cases, you will have to be prepared to steer and control the conversation. When conversing with expressives, the best practice would be to use certain power words. Pause the video and think about the words from the following matrix that you use and the ones that you need to incorporate. Convenient. For example, my brand has a convenient OD dosing because of its longer half-life. Remember, outgoing people love to be with and around others. They work hard to gain the affection and validation of those around them. With that, we have come to the end of this module and the outgoing personality type. We hope that you are now more confident in dealing with and identifying the various personality types. Hi, welcome to part 1 of this micro-learning module on rapport and building relationships. Have you observed some people how they have a knack of hitting it off with anyone they meet? This means that they successfully manage to get a rapport going on with that person. Now you may think, the people who excel in connecting with others are born that way. But that's not the case. Let's dispel this myth and more of the like by taking a deep dive into rapport and relationship building. Tony Robbins describes rapport as the ability to enter someone else's world, to make him feel that you understand him, that you have a strong common bond. Building rapport with people is how we grow our social circles, both in our personal and professional lives. In simple terms, rapport equals trust plus comfort. Before we proceed, let us take a moment to pause, see where you are on the relationship ladder with your customers. I would invite you to pause this video for some time and think about all the doctors in your master list. Looking into your relationship with each one of them at this moment, how many of them would fall under white and gray area respectively in the given relationship meter? This will give you a starting point for you to work upon based upon the learning from this module. With that, we have come to the end of part 1 of this module. In the next module, we will look at some of the steps to help you making a lasting impression. Hi, welcome to part 2 of this micro-learning module on rapport and building relationships. The previous video helped you arrive at an understanding of where you are with respect to your customers. Let us now help you on your journey from the bottom steps to the topmost step. Breaking the ice is a very important part of rapport building. You don't want to get off on a wrong start. Just as the old saying goes, the first impression is the best impression. Here are some tips to help you leave a lasting impression. Use non-threatening and safe topics for initial small talk. Don't jump straight into controversial topics that divide opinion. Talk about general topics such as the weather, local news, or how you travel to where you are. Some people talk too much, yet say so little. Avoid being that kind of a person, and also remember to not ask too many questions about the other person. Seek out common shared experiences. The more you have in common, the more you have to talk about in the initial stages. An injection of humor always goes a long way, but do not do so at the risk of hurting the sentiments of others. Self-jokes and casual ones are always appreciated. Be conscious of your body language and other non-verbal signals at all times. Body language plays an important role in creating an impression. Try to maintain eye contact for approximately 60% of the time. Relax and show that you are interested in the conversation by slightly leaning towards them. This indicates that you're listening. Mirror their body language if needed. Rapport is all about being on the same wavelength, and being empathetic is essential for a healthy rapport. Remember, it is the ability to enter someone's world and see it from the other person's point of view. With that, we have come to the end of part 2 of this module. In part 3, we will be going over some of the best practices to help you get your rapport